Okay, so let's put this to bed. Question. Did anyone from Securitas activate any alarms at any time from 1:15 in the morning to 1:22 in the morning to your knowledge? Answer from Securitas. Not to my knowledge. So this video is a short video, and I'm going to give you pieces of it. Short video. They said that they did not activate the system. And for you guys that need me to prove it to you a little more, the question is, and the answer is here. Our understanding was to provide security concierge service to the property manager was reluctant and refused to release any of the post orders. So the property manager the property manager for Champlain Towers South would not give Securitas the so I'm doubling down on the T. Sorry guys, Securitas the standing orders for the guards. He did, in his deposition, he does state that he asked many times, he wouldn't give it to him. I do believe that is true. There's no conflict from the property manager saying, no, I tried to give it to him. He never asked me. I've yet to find that. Or have I? The training was done in-house and was given by our site supervisor that went along to the offices. So Champlain Towers South goes to his site supervisor, which is a lady for Securitas. She then, the standing orders, gives it to the employees for Securitas. 8 hours is the training. I think it was a 6. Nevertheless, this button appears not to be something memorized. Okay, listen to my question again, right? This one here. Question. Oh, answer rather. Okay. Question. On a security case? No. What kind of case? No. Personal. Question. Start by does he do depositions? All right. Did anyone from Securitas activate any alarms? The answer is no. When he asked, did anyone from Securitas make any effort to evacuate the occupants of the Champlain Towers South of the night of the collapse? Listen, I was told Shamoka Furman assisted. I was told. Because why was he told this? His statement is told because she didn't even get hold of him. The HR department couldn't get a hold of her or anything else. So he's speaking secondhand, hearsay. Any individual unit, and this could be from the newscast even. She did exit stage left on this whole deal. Okay. About the guy they're questioning, the manager of the security company. He states he would visit it once a month, basically, about 15, 20 minutes, go over billing, basically. Okay, did you ever observe that where the security guard would be posted at? Yeah, he did. Are you familiar with the one-call system? No, I'm not. The all-call system, that location. So he's not familiar with it. He's not a security guard. He's not familiar with it. Fair enough. Why not? This was the primary responsibility of the property. The property manager only gave us limited specific amount of duties for our office, and that wasn't one of them. So I never received training on that. So I never received training on that. He didn't say we didn't. He specifically said he never received training on it. Well, why would you train him on it? So his answer is a diversion answer. It's not a truthful answer, if you will. It's designed to say, no, I never received training on it. Well, you never were going to receive training on it. He's the manager above the site supervisor. Site supervisor then handles the security guards. But he would have never received training on it. So this is kind of a, to me, got you moment, because you're not answering the question I'm asking, and the way you're doing is being kind of tricky. Because you said I. So did you know the building had an all-call system? Oh, okay. Now he asked. Yes, it was to the left. I noticed it. So now all of a sudden, first you never received training on it, but dude is like, yeah, I saw it. It was to the left. I noticed it. Question. To the left of answer of question. Hold on. Question. Just hold on. Tell them hold on. The building had an all call system that was located to the left of where your security guard would be stationed. Correct? Answer. Answer here. No. This is page 10. This is page 12. Answer is above. Let me get it. Answer. I'm referring to it. That's where it was. The button, right? Okay. The alarm panel. I'm not sure if that's the name of it. It's called the alarm panel or not. Question. Answer. That's the answer, rather. Question. Okay. I just want to try to figure this out, sir. Answer. Sure. So he cut him off. He's very aggressive. He should have just waited for him to finish his statement, and see if there's a question there. Question. Have you ever seen this alarm panel? Answer. I'm not quite sure. I believe it was red. This doesn't look familiar. Question. Okay. Have you seen a panel similar to that though? Correct, right? Answer. Something like that, yes. So they're all about similar. Question. All right. That panel will be located within reach, within a few bodies' length of where your security guard will be positioned, correct? Answer is yes. And your testimony to our jury is that your company never trained any of the security guards on how to operate that panel, correct? And his answer is that's correct. We never trained them on how to operate that panel. Fair game. Let's move. So their position is your company never had any involvement in the knowing how to even use the all-call button. Is that correct? All-call panel, correct? And the answer is not that you don't even know how to use it. It just says answer, we had no involvement. Okay, no involvement, contract, right? Concierge. Your company never discussed the all-call panel with anyone at Champlain Towers South. Is that correct? And the answer is that's correct. Question. What were your post orders, standing orders? In other words, what were the instructions of your security guard while they're on premises, Champlain Towers South? Answer. Whoever we hired would go, and they were required to do an 8-hour training period with the site supervisor. Site supervisor is for Securitas. Okay, they get and from there. The post orders and training materials were in-house, specifically policed by the property manager. I agree with this. I think this is true. I mean, the property manager held those damn documents. He wasn't allowed to copy them. The Securitas was not. He kept asking for them. He's like, why? No. He didn't want to give them up. They were proprietary, perhaps. But he didn't want to give them up. They would stay at the location, and this is the way it would go. I don't have a problem with that. Why do you need it at your location? Are you going to do some training there? No, we do the training here. So we'll handle it. Besides, we're giving you some proprietary stuff and taking it out of our possession. So, no. So I actually understand the side of Champlain Towers South not wanting to give up copies to this management. So the site supervisor, sure, let her have access to the document, and as you change it and let her know. Can you please explain to our jury who created the post orders? Answer, the property did. They controlled the training materials. Question, all right, so the property meaning CTS, through its agents, explained the responsibility to your security guards. Its agents, I believe, were the property manager. Question, to the site supervisors, yes. Through the agents, explained the responsibility to your security guards. Answer is to the site supervisor, yes. See, so the answer here would have been no. No to the security guards. And then he would say, well, who did they train? Then he would say, the site supervisor. So he assumed, and then he corrected the guy's question and added a different question answer. But nevertheless, the intent is there. It tells you who has the data. The site supervisor is the one they do the training for. So if you claim that they have a bunch of people going in and out, it's still the security guards. It's still the site supervisor who is status quo, who has the knowledge, who needs to make sure her security guards has this information. And it's a female in this case. Site supervisor would then explain to your security guards what their post orders were, correct? And the reply is correct. So whatever the CTS instructions of the site supervisor to do in terms of security responsibilities, the guards were responsible to do that work, correct? And that's correct. So here we jump down a little bit here about the button question. And did Rochelle Williams, this is the Securitas supervisor for that site, tell you that she was instructed to use the all-call button in the event of an emergency? It says she did not. The question probably would have been better, did she know that she was supposed to do that? Because remember, this guy they're asking, he's a manager. He doesn't go around asking each one of his site supervisors, tell me all of your details. And nevertheless, his question is so specific that he's like, no, she didn't tell me that. So it's kind of loaded. Doesn't mean she doesn't know, but we wait for it. Did you ask her about it? No. Answer is, I did. What? I did not. Question, why not? Because the post orders were in place, and she controlled the entire training program. All right, so she did the training program. So he didn't ask about, the details of, hey, he's handling many sites. All right, they got a lot of stuff down there. So he's the one that's answering because we don't have a Shamoka Williams. She's MIA. We'll get to that. So here the question is, do you understand approximately 7 minutes before passed from the time that the fire alarm was tripped? All right, so we got a fire alarm tripped, meaning that the building started to collapse before the ultimate collapse occurred on 1:22 a.m. Do you understand that? And they said, yes, I do. Do you understand that if your company had an opportunity to notify all the residents that this building, that there was an impending disaster, that they should have done so? The question is, I do understand we should have done so. Question, you agree with that, right? We already did. It's being redundant. It's argumentative. I agree. Well, actually, he says, do you agree with it? Yeah, so he agrees with the format. Question, okay, do you understand that there's a button within arm's reach of the security guard that could notify the residents of the impending disaster? Impending disaster. Sorry, guys. What answer is, I did not know there was a button. So he says he did not know there was a button. Question, you knew there was an all-call device within arm's reach of the security guard that existed at the time of the collapse, correct? And so now he's saying, yeah, correct. He said button. He was specific about it. Like, I didn't know it was a button. Question, and if you're in your experience as a security company, does your company understand what an all-call button does? And here it is. They do understand what it does. So if they do, as a security company, his whole company understands what an all-call button is. This seems like this should be basic training before even going out into the field, that you should be looking for this button. Keep in mind, this guy owned his own security company before he went to work for Securitas, as I understand it. So he's no amateur hour. He's the manager of it. So this means it's a basic setup, right? Again, are you, in your experience as a security company, does your company understand what an all-call button does? Answer is yes. Question, what does it do? Answer, it's an alarm. There's various alarm systems, but this specific alarm system, I didn't receive any training on, so I can't be specific. Remember, he didn't receive it on. Some do all, and then he goes on. He shouldn't have kept on going on, but he does. Some do all kinds of different things, but regarding a button, there's nothing that I know of. All right, so a button. He's specific about the button. Question, all right. Well, in Exhibit 90, there's a button that says all call. It literally, quotations, says all call. Do you see that? Let's delete that. Do you see that? Answer, mm-hmm. So now he sees it. Mm-hmm. That's his verbal command is a mm-hmm, his answer. Okay, question, all right. And the yes you see, and all right, and the yes you can, you see that, correct. And then he answers back yes. So the is corrected to mean yes. All right. So if you see on TV, they would say something like, look, I need you to respond with a yes or no answer. But he took the opportunity, this attorney did, to ask again the question, which is, all right. And the yes, all right. And the yes, and all right. And the yes, you see that, correct? And the answer is yes. Sorry, guys, for my stumbling over this. And the testimony in this question, and the testimony in this case has been that if the button is pressed, it allows the security guard to set off basically a fire alarm throughout the entire premises and even speak to the units directly and notify them of an impending disaster. It's not individual units, it would be the entire units. It would be the alarm system. It's like three beeps, three loud beeps, I think, and then the auto system would speak, like evacuate. Or it can be three loud beeps, and then the security guard would speak, stating, something like, hey, look, the building's shaking, the parking garage is down in the structure. I think you should evacuate now. I don't know how many seconds they have to speak, or then it goes back to the three beeps, and I don't know. I'm finding out if it then defaults back to the standard evacuation message, or will she have to come on again and state evacuate again? So maybe you get one off with her speaking, and then it defaults back to the other system. But nevertheless, that's how I understand this system. Let's go back to this. And notify them of an impending disaster. Do you know any reason to dispute that this is the purpose of the all-call button? Do you know of any reason to dispute that? And the answer is, answer below is no. Okay, question. Do you have any record anywhere that says that your company was not responsible for activating the all-call button? Records. He wants recording records. Answer. Not that I searched for. I could not find anything because, again, the post orders were at the property. Question. And you never asked your supervisor, Rochelle Williams. That's not his supervisor. It's the supervisor that works under him, as I understand it. So he doesn't mean you never asked your supervisor, the person superior to you. It means your worker, the supervisor for the building, as I understand this. So you guys, and you never asked your supervisor, Rochelle Williams, if pressing the all-call button was within the scope of the services of the Securitas, correct? And the answer is correct. Question, how much time did you spend speaking with Rochelle Williams? Answer, 2 or 3 times a week, maybe 2 hours approximately. And I don't know if this is total. That's the total time you asked about. How much time in preparation for this deposition did you spend speaking with Rochelle Williams? Answer is none. Question, have you? Why not? Answer, I never spoke to Rochelle Williams. This was handled from our HR representative, but I know they did reach out to her, though. When I asked you, did you prepare for today's deposition, you said you spoke to different security personnel. Do you remember saying that? Question. And answer is yes, sir. Question. And I asked you who I think we identified Rochelle Williams, correct? Answer, yes. Remember, he says he didn't speak to her. So did you speak to, question, he's going to go back at it again. I believe it's a he. So did you speak to, and then he cuts him off and says, I did not speak to, question. Hold on. Did you speak to Rochelle Williams in preparation of today's deposition? Answer is no. Okay. Question. What security personnel did you speak in with the preparation to today's deposition? Answer. Some of the other officers. Question. Officers on premises of CTS? Answer. 1 or 2 of some of the past officers as well. Well, so current and past. Question. Did you ask any officers, post of officers, there are obvious. Did you ask any officers, past officers? They are all obviously past officers, right? Sure. Did you ask any of them about the all-call button? Answer. Shoot. Did you ask any of them about the all-call button? Answer. I specifically asked them about the post orders and the alarm system. Question. Did you ask any of them about the all-call button? right? Because he didn't answer it. Answer is no. You sit there today without any post orders. Am I correct that you as a corporate representative of Securitas have no real understanding of what the Securitas obligation was on CTS property on June 24th, 2021? Is that correct? Question. Wait a minute. 2021. Question. Is that correct? Answer. Our understanding was to provide security concierge services to there. So it looks like a dash, right? This looks like two, security and concierge here. This is going to be retracted to only be security at one point, then it's going to be only concierge. It's a little bit flighty. The property manager was reluctant and refused to release any of the post orders. The training was done in-house. That was given to our site supervisor that went along to the officers. So everybody says that they had training, that the officers changed over there. It doesn't matter. They didn't have, this lady wasn't a changeover like that. The security supervisor was not a changeover. She then shared the post orders, right? She then shared the post orders. So it was up to her to get the people up to speed real quick, and they would be telling them what their responsibilities are. And maybe they would have two guards there for a couple of days until they finally understood their responsibilities and switched out. Or maybe they did not. Question. Okay, listening to your question to you because you're the corporate representative of Securitas. Have you ever testified in deposition? Let's skip that. So this is the part I find. This is Securitas, a multi-million-dollar company, huge as hell. And the question here is question. But I don't want you to guess. It's not about being truthful. I just don't want you to guess. Answer. Okay. Question. And based on your research leading to this deposition today, you have no written proof or written evidence anywhere to identify what the obligations were to Securitas on CTS at the time of the building collapse. Is that correct? Answer is correct. So this company took on a agreement of contract with, let's say, CTS. So Securitas with CTS, and it was verbal. Oh, yeah, we just need this and that, and this is how much you're going to charge, right? Yeah, okay, good. So then what happens since it's verbal, because there's nothing in written form, let's go to written form now. So what's in written form is, we're going to give you security and concierge. But no definition of security in there because they have nothing in written form. It's only in this one desk. So when the Securitas secure this job, did the Champlain CTS go to their office and say, hey, look, this is our paperwork here. This is what we want you to do. And they looked at it and go, yeah, we can do this for, X dollars, right? X dollars. And they said, okay, yeah, we'll do that. Let me get a copy of that. And it was done right then, and we're signing up. I think it's 2019 or so, or 2018. Anyway, so, yeah, it's over here somewhere. So then he had nothing demanding of the demands of the criteria of what they were actually supposed to do. It was like, yeah, we do this so much maybe that, yeah, we'll do this. We got it. It seems very unprofessional, doesn't it? That they don't have anything in written form. No emails, that's already addressed. No copies. Only the standing orders that are in the office. Now, let's see where they go with this. And I already know where they go, but hold on. So the question is it fair to say that Securitas should have acted as a reasonable security company, not the concierge, as a reasonable security company would be expected to act at CTS at the time of the building collapse? Is that fair? And he's back to that stuff again. Question, yes. Answer is yes. Question, does Securitas feel that a reasonable security company, would activate an alarm when they receive notice that a building is starting to collapse? All right, this is the smoking gun here. The question again, does Securitas feel that a reasonable security company would activate an alarm when they receive notice that a building is collapsed? He didn't say make phone calls 911, activate alarm. And then Ms. Wellstein form. She wants form, okay? The witness, yes. Okay, answer, yes. Okay. Did anyone from Securitas activate any alarm at any time from 1:15 in the morning to 1:22 in the morning to your knowledge? Answer, not to my knowledge. Okay. So the company knew about all call buttons. All right. They just knew about that as a general thing. So a general thing. And there's the statement there. Does that wrap it up for some of you that says the security guard should have, it was responsibility to press it? Their own company states such. Their own company states such. The security guard that works for them, representing them, under yes, should have, would have activated an alarm when they received it. And their company knows of all call systems. So do you need anything more than the mission there? Okay, I'll give you this one. This is how many, several hundred uh, buildings that they handle security for. Several hundred. So question, and where does Securitas keep the post orders for the other properties of the several hundred? Answer, at the corporate office. For some reason, the corporate office doesn't have this one building, the one odd building. So it's the Champlain Towers South, to your knowledge, the only building that Securitas provides security service for, in which they did not keep a copy of the post orders. Answer, regarding the properties that I manage, yes. So this one guy manages to get a contract, or deal with this contract, if you will, and it's the only building that he can't find the obligation, his contract for, which I find, now I take back. Remember, I give and I take. And I'm like, yeah, really, dude? You got everything for there? You signed a contract and you have nothing written that says what your obligations are in a contract. So if they told you, we hired you also to stand outside in a storm, then you can't argue against it because you don't have a copy of the standing orders that you've already made agreement with. This doesn't make this part doesn't rings true on what he's stating, that it's been, in my opinion, these documents appear to have been ghosted, right? There's no emails of it, so you probably check your emails. That's the way I would look. Checked all your emails, searched for the document, couldn't find it. Okay, so we don't have anything in email form. So we only got the one document that came into this office that day. Huh. Do we have it? You hear my inference there? Do we really have that document? Because that document, it appears to say that we must press the button in case of emergency. Oh boy, we don't want that liability. I don't know. I can't find a document. Wink. So, question is, who's responsible at your company? Would it be to keep a copy of the post orders? Wouldn't it be to keep a copy of the post orders at the Champlain Towers? So who is responsible to keep a copy? Answer, it would be the district manager or any representative that would be assigned to the contract. Oh, so there we are. Huh. He's avoiding his own name. Answer, are you the district manager? Answer, I am. Question, so it's your responsibility to keep the post orders for Champlain Towers South? Question, correct. Answer is correct. Question, and you failed in that responsibility as far as the post orders for this building, correct? Answer, no, I did not fail. He's going to dig his heels in, saying they wouldn't give it to me. They were so difficult. And, it just goes on. This is not worth the energy. He's supposed to have it. You got a contract, wink, wink. So just so you know, they did not. The question, did Securitas ever perform any tests on the all-call system? Answer is no. Interesting. He knows nothing about it. Now he's saying they never did. That would be his security person that wanted the manager there that would know that. Why would he know that? So he asked questions. And the question is, are you sure? Answer, as far as I know. Question, does Securitas know if the all-call system was functional on June 24th, 21? Answer, not to my knowledge, no. Question, you have no knowledge of that? Answer, I have no knowledge of that. Question, got it. Does Securitas charge more for its services if it takes on the responsibility to use the all-call system in times of an emergency? Does it charge more to lean over and press the button, is what he's stating. Answer, if you're sitting at the desk. Answer, that's all negotiable. in the beginning. So there appears to be a contract negotiable in the beginning. Oh, you want to suppress an all-call system? Oh, that's going to be a little more, couple dollars. And if you think about it, you got to be reasonable. If you got my security guard the other in the building, an emergency happens, you have to realize that you only paid for one security guard, not someone to man the desk at all times. So it would take whatever time it takes for that one security guard to walk from one end of the property to the other. But I'm going to take this back because it appears the duties were not about security guards, not about walking the building, checking doors type thing. Okay. In some cases, yes, and some no. Everything is completely different when it comes down to contractual requirements from each property. Contractual requirements? This guy, I believe, signs up the contract, and yet he can't even find the contract. So what the hell? Wink, wink. Question. And have you reviewed the contract between Securitas and CCS? Oh, yes, I have. So a contract does exist. Winky, winky. Okay, does this contract between Securitas and CTX excluding pressing a damn button, pressing the all-call button? Answer, there's no knowledge of alarm systems in the service agreement. It's all built through the post orders. But remember, they get training. The company rather knows about all-call systems. So if your company knows about all-call systems, that means all your security workers should know about it as default, right? It's like you don't go slapping somebody if they get you pissed off. You're going to get sued. It's all-call system, right? So the post orders control the obligations of the Champlain Towers South on June 24th, 2021. Correct. Answer is correct. Question, and your company has no copy of the post orders, correct? Answer is correct. No copy. So what controlled does the contract between security, question is, okay, and does the contract between Securitas and CTX exclude pressing all the call buttons? There's no knowledge no knowledge of the alarm system in this service agreement. It's all built through the post orders. So the post orders is how it's done. So down here, post orders again. The Securitas guards from Securitas ever accompany inspectors' buildings on CTS property? This is a beautiful question he's asking me. It leads somewhere. Where it leads is that he's stating he's just concierge. One of the arguments, they're just concierge, stay at the desk. Now they're going to find out that that they actually say, hey, look, we need another guard while we escort the building inspector through the building. And, right, so they're trying to give and take. And you guys got to understand what that means. You got to come to your own conclusion. That we got the security company acting a little divey. You're sure about that? Yes. Would they ever ask you to build it? You said no. Yeah, sure. I'm sure about that. Yeah, answer is yes. Okay, question. I'll mark exhibit 911, an email between you. Oh, it's you, Andrew, and Andrew. Oh, I like the way he talks like me. Remember, he says, oh, it's you. You know how to do the Columbo move? Well, that was a Columbo move there. This was a Columbo move. Hey, so you've, okay. So the answer is no? Okay, I'd like to mark exhibit 91, an email between, oh, it's you, Andrew Valtrain. Answers, So now he knows. Or he's saying, go ahead, you got me, whatever you want. Let's see where you're going with this. Question, between you and the manager of Champlain Towers, so now it seems like this is circumventing the supervisor of the Champlain Towers South. Seems like he's got direct contact. Between you and the manager of Champlain Towers South, 7 days before the collapse, take a look. 7 days before collapse, right? There is that walk, the building inspector. Remember, I believe this is the roof person. The roof inspector. This is that one guy, whatever his name is, I believe. Yeah. Answer, yeah, extra services. So it's how, there we go. So it's how extra services came in. And that's the answer. They would just stay at the desk and man the elevators. They didn't go anywhere. They would just stay at the desk and man the elevators. Now they're manning elevators. That's it. They didn't go around and follow them anywhere. It was mainly primary policing the service elevators. So now it's word policing the service elevators. This is very, very common. It wasn't like they walked around and seeing what they were seeing what they're doing. It was like watching the service elevator and things to that, to my knowledge. Well, remember, he has no knowledge of the standing orders. So how is he now stating clearly this was what their responsibility is there? So now his story is breaking down now, isn't it? Can you just read to our jury? Exhibit 91 says, answer, sure. Good morning. This is an email, I believe. We will need an extra person on the front desk starting June 28th through July 2nd from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Rochelle will be with the building inspector. Okay. Rochelle will be with the building inspector. So Rochelle's the manager again, the site supervisor there. So it appears, is she doubling down as security guard? This is interesting. Question, Rochelle Williams? Answer, correct. And your email 7 days before the collapse seems to indicate that Rochelle Williams will be escorting building inspectors through the property. Answer, this is what it indicates. Question, okay. Okay, and you testified less than 2 minutes ago. The Securitas personnel never escorts building inspectors, correct? Answer, not to my knowledge. It was only at the... It was only at the front lobby that's what they did. They stood at the front lobby. We're back. They stood at the front lobby. But you received an email 7 days before asking for an additional security guard on the premises because Rochelle Williams of Securitas will be escorting building inspectors, correct? Answer, that's what the email says. So instead of saying correct, he said that's what the email says. So now he's getting a little defensive. Question, all right. Where were you born? He was born in Philadelphia, which is a great city. Yep. But mostly raised in Florida. Where did you go to high school? Let's probably Florida. Plantation. Any college? Yeah. Where? See, Kaiser University, sir. So I don't get where he's going with that. That's just, I don't know. Trying to mess with the guy. He's a security guard now. Whatever his college is, it doesn't matter to me. He's got his own company at one point. So this education means nothing to me. I know guys that got multi-million-dollar companies and they did 9th grade. So what's this got to do with it? When you stop going to college, and somebody else comes behind you and they got a PhD and you've got a master's, yet you've got all this expertise, what do you go, I drop my hat to you, you're superior to me. No. The 9th graders, if you're talking about success with the $1 million companies, obviously more superior. So this is weird on this one. I couldn't get where he was going with it either. But, and where did you work before Securitas? He had his own company. See, so he was his own company. Obviously, he was able to market that up to be the manager of a larger company doing their management. And they could have bought him out also. What was the name of the company? And see, I don't get that. And has the company ever been sued? No. And this is the first time you've ever given a deposition in any case that where you've been sued. Where you've been sued. So he's not being sued. But the answer is, yes, this is the first time. Well, maybe he is being sued. Maybe they did name him as one of the liable people, right? All right. And they go on to us, have you been arrested? That's some, they're just trying to muddy the waters. He has a security D license through the division of the state of Florida. This is what I'm asking, but they don't ask, does his sub person have that license? Is it required? Or do they only need supervision? That's what I wanted to get to, and we don't get there yet. Okay. Would you agree with me that they were trained, that you were trained, and if there's an emergency situation going on at Securitas office, you have an obligation to do anything within your power to notify everyone on the premises of the emergency situation? So the obligation is yes. Do you agree with me that part of your training at Securitas has an obligation to know all of the resources available to them to notify people in the building of an impending disaster, of an emergency situation? Yes. So this is when he got him good. He jumped right over there and says, you have an obligation to know all the emergency systems, which would be the all-call, another smoking gun. So that's another smoking gun. He says he agrees that they were responsible to know about that all-call button. Question. So you would agree with me that a reasonable security officer would have an obligation to understand how to use a system that could notify all the residents of an impending disaster? And the answer is yes. So there you go. There's a slam again. And again, question. Do you agree with me that a reasonable security company should train its officers how to use a system that can notify all the residents of an impending disaster? Answer is yes again. Okay. Question. In the case of for whatever reason, Securitas did not, to your knowledge, train its officers how to use the all-call system at CTS. And the answer is not to my knowledge. So he didn't say it didn't happen. He says not to my knowledge. So it doesn't mean they didn't train them. And you found nothing in the investigation that shows Securitas activated any alarms personally. You know of activated any alarms to notify the residents of the impending disaster, correct? And he says correct, not to my knowledge. He knows of nothing that anyone did it. And this is the important one. Say they just said concierge only. So this addresses that, which they do try to say concierge up here. And I think I'll end it with that one because this is much longer document than it looks like. And a question. And as far as the duties of the responsibilities of the security guard and a security company regarding the all-call system, your investigation has found no documents that would alleviate your company of the responsibility, correct? In reference to this. And the answer is no documents. Question. I am correct? I'm correct? Answer is you're correct. And you're not aware of any direct communication alleviating your company of the responsibility to know about the all-call and the use of the all-call systems, correct? Answer is not to my knowledge, no documentations. Okay. He said communications, not documentations. Question. I'm correct. You're correct. Is there anything else that you want to? All right. That you want to give? Right. He says, and this is his response. The site orders. I just wanted you to know. I did indeed go out there. It was unorthodox to find a site that didn't have the post orders. Our system is primarily built around a digital platform that hosts this for the better training and things and whatnot. So when I first ran into the property manager and he was reluctant to release them, it was strange, and it was the first encounter that I ever saw regarding releasing any kind of post orders, because it was built on training. I did rebuttal about regarding the training program and how important the post orders are, blah, 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 to get them, right? He's going to just say why he didn't have them, that they just wouldn't give them to him. Now, let me get you the concierge. All right, now, for fairness, let's finish that. For fairness, he states that the building manager says, I'm stressing this now, the security guard, the guy we're just answering, which is why I'm stressing this now. And he says that the training was done in-house, is what the building manager states to him. And it was only a concierge position. So there we go. So it tied right in next second. And it was only a concierge position and only need to know what's going on there. All right. So this is what he states, that the manager states that it was only a concierge position. Let me scroll back down and see if I missed. Yeah. So let's see. 29. I got to get you to get 30 for fairness. Right here. Okay. Regarding what called your investigation found no documents that would alleviate your company. Shit. Down here at the bottom. It was built on training. I did rebuttal regarding the training program and how important the post orders are. That's page 30 here. We're going to go to 31 and the rest of it, which is why I'm stressing now, this page 31. He says the training was done in-house and it was only a concierge position. This is what his argument is that when he's speaking to property manager, he said it's only a concierge position. In his documents all over here, he should have stated, look, because of this, we gave him a one free one, maybe, you know, a security guard. I'm confused. She says she's concierge. He's stating that the company says it's concierge, service only, position only, and he has no documentation of such, no physical papers of such. I'm going to end this video because I have more to give, but I want you to see that this is the security company trying to now claim that, oh, she was only a concierge, but clearly stated in the beginning part of this video that their obligation was as a security company, and then tried to claim this as his defense. All right, I got to give you this last piece, so don't worry about that part. Do you know whose system it is? He said, no, it's a vendor, right? The system. Question, okay. And referring to Exhibit 91, this is an email from Scott Stewart. So Scott Stewart is the property manager at Champlain Towers South. So Scott Stewart appears to be able to find his emails. Okay, answer, correct. Question, did you in your search for emails find any emails from Mr. Stewart to you regarding training on this vendor system depicting exhibit, meaning the button? Answer is no. Now someone else steps in. Mr. Rosen steps in, our attorney. Question, okay, so just so we're clear, Securitas is the only company that you're aware of providing security at CTS in the middle of the night on June 24th, 2021. Answer is correct. Question, in the event of a major incident occurring in the middle of the night, who does Securitas feel should be responsible for pressing the all-call button if not Securitas? So give us an option. Who else would press it? Answer is, I can't really say regarding responsibility. Well, I know you guys are probably getting triggered by that, but if it's not my contract, well, you can't hold me responsible for not pressing the button. But they don't have a contract saying it's not a button. In fact, they say there's security. And the security, they say that they know about all-call buttons. So it's, you know, to me, I would like, okay, well, you're a security company. You didn't get hired as a concierge is trying to claim up there, you know, in this deposition. And then also at the same time claiming they're a security company. Question. And you recognize, though, that the security guard is there working awake in the middle of the night. The security guard. He didn't say, well, that's my concierge. That's not my security guard. The question is, security guard, sitting arm's length away from the one call button, correct? So he put her in a position there, and he didn't say, I didn't know where she was. So he's accepting that as a matter of fact. And then we go to page 35 up here and continue. Answer that much clearer because I'm not really quite sure. And so the question, yeah, I screwed up. Screwed up, guys. Right there. Question, yeah, did you search his emails? Did you training of the vendor system depict emails? Ah, shit. Okay, there it is. I can't really say regarding responsibility. Question, you recognize, though, that your security guard is there working awake in the middle of the night, sitting arm's length away from the all-call button? Correct. Answer is correct. And it is the Securitas position that some other person, and is it, question, is it Securitas position that some other person should have pressed this button? Answer is all I could see the post orders. Yeah, I screwed that up. Sorry, I crossed out of my own handwriting. He states if, not all. If I could see the post orders, I could. And remember, this is the guy, it's his building. Now all of a sudden he can't see the post orders, or he never read them. But he says, I could answer that much clearer because I'm really not quite sure. Okay, question is, are you testifying today? You're not saying that somebody else should have pressed this all call button in the middle of the night with your security guard sitting arm's length away from the button, are you? And the answer is no. Okay, no further questions. So, for fairness, we go to page 6 of this document, and this is how it starts off. He states his name. He's the, what is your role? He's a district manager, day-to-day basis, manage security contracts and personnel. Oh, he manages the contracts, right? And yes, what was your involvement? I was a district manager. My involvement was the staff, the concierge desk, 24 hours a day, 168 hours a week. Okay, so the concierge desk. He didn't say security desk. So this is where he starts off on page 6, jumping right into saying concierge, trying to change the narrative, concierge. And that's why I told you guys to do that one video going, he's a concierge, not a security guard. You know, I play at Columbo. Then I go, like he does with the email. This is you in the email. That type of deal. Well, I do the same thing. And here we go. So, and in 25 there, read the bottom there below concierge. The Securitas have an obligation to provide security guards at Champlain Towers South on June 24th. And then the answer is yes. So you see quickly it fell apart from concierge to security guard. Did Securitas provide security guards to Champlain Towers South? It is yes. How many security guards? 1 per shift. All right, so he's a security guard. Her name was Shamoka Williams. Her name was Shamoka Williams. He answered back, Furman. Okay, he's getting that one mixed up. Okay, Furman, yes. Have you spoken with Shamoka? Answer is no. And this is the way you got it mixed up the names. What was Rochelle Williams' involvement? She was a site supervisor for the property. Was she on site at the time of the collapse? It was after the collapse she was. We fast forward to page 18 of the document, and it is question: as you sit here today without any post orders? Am I correct that you as corporate rep of the Securitas have no real understanding of what the Securitas obligation was to CTS on this date? Question is if it's a form. Question again, is that correct? Answer is, our understanding was to provide security concierge. So now you saw above, he was supposed to man the concierge desk, and now it's changed to security. Now he's changed it a little bit more defined to security concierge services to their property management. Was reluctant to refused to release any of the post orders. And this one we went over already. This is page 31. It says, and it was only a concierge position, is what he tried to say that the manager stated, and that's why he didn't need post orders. But clearly above, he states that it's security service that are being offered. Where you see right there, answer, the district manager, my involvement was to staff the concierge desk. And the question, did the Securitas have an obligation to provide security guards to Champlain Towers on June 24th? And the answer is yes. So there's your case closed type deal. And that was their obligation. And she's MIA. Let me get you the MIA part. So we go from page 7 up here. This is page 7. We'll do page 8 right here. So her name was Shamoka Williams. Read that there. See it to the right there. 11, 12. Furman is a correction. And down there at 21, it says, and so I'm reading 21. It's over here, not these. It's to the right of the page. 21. Question, and what does Rochelle Williams do? Answer, she just arrived on the scene. What did she do when she... Before or after a building collapse? After. Did you arrive on the scene? Question, answer is no, sir. Question is, when were you first notified of the building collapse? Answer, I would say between 3 and 4 a.m., which he verifies later. Question, what have you done to prepare for today's deposition other than speaking with your attorneys? Answer, we performed a thorough investigation, and he says thorough. He didn't say a investigation. He used the word thorough. Investigation as far as trying to retain any information we could possibly regarding the incident. And he wants definition of thorough. What does that mean? Answer is we spoke to some of the officers. So he gives away some. So you mean you didn't speak to them all. Who didn't you speak to? Informed our personnel and our management team and conducted as a step-by-step to see what happened. Question, what officers did you speak to other than Ms. Williams? Ms. Williams, and he says officers. So Ms. Williams appears to be a security guard. Answer, we spoke to Ms. Williams at the time. She reported the initial incident. I never spoke to Shamoka. Okay, so he gives it away. Question, well, why not? I added the well part. Why not? Answer, we tried to reach out to her, but she was unreachable. Unreachable. Who tried to reach out to her? Answer is HR. I did, the HR personnel, and an HR representative from corporate. An HR representative from corporate could be their attorney. Did you personally ever visit the Champlain Towers? And we're gonna stop there. Take care, guys. Hope you enjoy this one. Love you. Bye.